A newborn's heart is about the size of a walnut. Hers was broken from birth. Only half of it had formed, and half a heart cannot keep a baby alive. In 1984, a surgeon replaced it. Not with a human heart, but with one taken from a baboon. It beat inside her chest for 21 days. 21 days. They called her Baby Fae. And what her doctors did that autumn is still argued over today. She was born on October 14th, 1984 in Southern California. At first, she looked perfectly healthy. But within days, her breathing went wrong. The diagnosis was Hypoplastic Left Heart Syndrome. It means the left side of the heart never finished growing. That side pumps blood to the whole body. In 1984, it was a death sentence. There was no surgery to fix it. Most of these babies died within their first week or two. Her mother was young and had almost nothing. She was told to take her daughter home and let her go. But one hospital offered something else. A hospital in Loma Linda, run by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. There, a surgeon believed he had another answer. His name was Leonard Bailey. For years, he had worked on an idea most doctors had given up on: putting an animal's organ into a human being. It's called Xenotransplantation, and its history was a graveyard. Every earlier attempt had failed, often within hours. 2 decades earlier, one surgeon had tried a chimpanzee's heart. The patient lived only hours, but Bailey thought a newborn might be different. A baby's immune system is still unfinished. Maybe, he reasoned, it wouldn't fight the new heart as hard. He had transplanted hearts between baby animals for years. He wasn't paid for any of it. He believed these babies had no other option, and that doing nothing was its own kind of choice. There was no human infant heart waiting. Infant heart transplants barely existed. So when Baby Fae arrived, dying, he offered her mother the only thing he had. On October 26th, when Fae was 12 days old, they took her into the operating room. The donor was a young baboon. Its heart was walnut-sized, small enough to fit a newborn. Surgeons removed Faye's failing heart and set the new one in its place. And then it happened. The new heart began to beat on its own. For the first time in her life, Baby Fae had a heart that worked. Word spread across the world within hours. She became the most famous baby on Earth. Her real name was kept secret to protect her family, so the world only knew her as Baby Fae. For a few days, it looked like a miracle. She fed. She gripped a finger. Her color came back. Doctors were cautiously, carefully hopeful. But a hidden problem was already working against her. Blood comes in types: A, B, AB, and O. Baby Fae was type O. The baboon's heart was not. When the types don't match, the body's antibodies swarm the new organ and tear it apart. Bailey later said a matching baboon was hard to find, and Faye was running out of time, so he went ahead anyway. The main drug keeping her alive was cyclosporine, so new it had only just been approved. For about 2 weeks, powerful drugs held the rejection back. Then her body began to win. The little heart started to fail. Her kidneys followed. On November 15th, 21 days after the surgery, Baby Fae died. She was 1 month old. The heart had been rejected, not because the surgery failed, but because of a mismatch in something as basic as blood. Bailey admitted later that if he could do it again, he would have matched the blood type. And then the questions began. The first was about consent. Did her mother truly understand what she was agreeing to? The form was long and technical. Critics said the family was never clearly told the honest truth, that no one had ever survived this, and that the chance of a lasting cure was almost zero. The second question was sharper. Was a human heart ever really an option? Bailey said no. Infant transplants weren't established, and there was no time. Others weren't sure he had tried hard enough to find one. Then there were the protests. Activists were furious that a healthy baboon had died for an experiment. And bioethicists asked the hardest question of all. Was this medicine meant to help Baby Fae, or was it research, using a dying baby to test an idea? One ethicist, George Annis, called it the anything goes school of human experimentation, because when a patient cannot possibly benefit, you are no longer treating them. You are experimenting on them. The wider medical world split in two. Some called it a brave act of mercy for a baby with nothing left to lose. Others answered that desperation is not the same thing as consent. But that isn't the whole story. Bailey never stopped believing these babies deserved a chance. 1 year later, he did the first successful infant heart transplant in history, this time with a human donor. They called that baby Moses. He lived for decades. Loma Linda became one of the leading places on Earth for infant heart transplants. Thousands of children are alive today because doctors learned a newborn could receive a new heart at all. Baby Fae was the first step, and she never got a say in it. The rules around consent grew stricter because of her. She changed medicine by dying in front of the whole world, and the idea she died for never really went away. In 2022, surgeons tried again, this time giving a dying man the heart of a pig. He lived about 2 months. Animal-to-human transplants are back, and Baby Fae is where it began. So was Baby Fae a patient or an experiment? Almost 40 years later, we still can't fully agree. She lived 21 days. Long enough to push medicine past a line it had never crossed, and long enough to leave a question hanging over it ever since. When a child will die no matter what are we allowed to do to try to save her? Baby Fae never got to answer. She was 12 days old.